Well, the first thing to do before we continue our adventure is to go chew out the king of the beastmen, who will basically just tell us, I just didn't want you joining up with my mercenary group, that I'd hired to go to the frontier, so I put a temporary curse on you, yeah. He was always going to get back his balance after a couple more days. Basically, after the most recent group had set out, for the frontier to get wiped out. Because let's face it, we're going to join up with that group and be one of the only people that survive, Like, it's going to be ugly. Which sucks, because I kind of do like Rufus, but he dies horribly. But yeah, eventually he does admit, that we're very impressive for a human, but still not made for fighting. Despite the fact I completely kick most monsters' teeth in. Easily. The bigger problem for us is that we need another Insector card. We used up the last power of the one we had. Which means we're going to have to head out there and look for one. And the best place to go to look for those is probably going to be Roland Forest. So we're going to have to head all the way back to the mainland. And all the way back up to Heel Res, through Thieves' Woods. You get to Roland Forest and start, randomly kicking monsters around, to try and find what we're looking for. Now, Gabby can help with that somewhat because she can use her super attack to hit every enemy all at once. I'll be thankful when, Gene gets access to some of those when he starts trying to become a Dragon Master, or I believe it's Dragon Master, whatever, maybe it's Dragon Knight, it doesn't really matter which is the more accurate title, All that matters right now is I need to, get permission to go from the king here, and then go talk to Gabby at the town square. Because she's waiting for us, and we can't leave without her. I really wish we could put some levels on her right now. Oh, and if you're looking for a shop around here, you can go here. Though he only sells rare accessories. If you want to call them rare. I'm not a big fan. They're really overpriced. One of them offers a decent defense buff. Most of the others are just for status effect protection. And I don't really care for those either. Because I usually want to end fights before I have to even worry about status effects. But yeah, we gotta have a sappy moment here where everyone starts apologizing and getting cheered up and being like, yeah, we just have to set out because I'm my own girl now. Because Gabby's like, I'm gonna be the future queen, right? Yeah, just be yourself, Gabby. You just gotta believe in yourself. I don't get what's with the long pauses, like they're trying to channel the power of Squall here. They're trying to tell me I need to go play Final Fantasy VIII. I have to admit, it's on the list, but it's a long list. Like, geez, Deal or No Deal was on that list, okay? It's long and thorough, despite the fact Deal or No Deal can be beaten in like 10 minutes if you just keep skipping as much stuff as possible by button mashing. And then hope, you're lucky, right? But yeah, she basically is just like, you know what, screw my father, let's set out. Unfortunately, I can't really set out where I'd like to go. We can't go across the bridge. I think there might be Insector monsters on it, but once you go so far on it, you can't go back. And I'd like to have the Insector card, before I get in a situation, where I can't go back for it. So, we're heading out to Roland Forest to go get it. This is why I wish there were card shops in this game. Like, if I could spend some money on the freaking spell cards, I would do it. But no, if you want to buy spell cards, you gotta go play something like Lost Kingdoms. Or Lost Kingdoms 2. Which I should probably get back to working on at some point too, because I did start a new run. Though I have to admit, I've been thinking about cheesing that one by just using the trade function. Because you can copy data files and then trade cards to yourself. It's crazy broken. So you basically give yourself a bunch of high-level cards right from the get-go. Admittedly, it'll hurt to use them, but you can always just give yourself access to infinite, casts, effectively, by using those 2 healing units next to each other so they can maintain themselves indefinitely. Like, it's crazy how broken certain cards are in that game. So I suppose that's the case with a lot of card games. There's certain cards that are just so much better than other cards that it's insane. Like, absolutely insane. Like, Everton's Deck was one where it had a lot of stuff like that going on. Oh yeah, we want to put ourselves in item collecting mode. Which I hate being in. Because you're not making, any experience when you're in item collecting mode. It sucks. That's the only way to get cards, so I gotta use it. Admittedly, this might get me some cards, I haven't had yet so far this run. I've been kind of ignoring the card feature. Okay, we'll fight this thing. It might have an Insector with it. Oh, yeah. Please cause damage to all enemies. Okay. I can't imagine most of these guys are that tough at this point. Except the Gabby. Because, she's level 12. She's way more vulnerable here. Gosh darn it. Hopefully I don't have to do one round. I mean, Gia and Lucia, though, they could care less. Like, hit them all day, man. Please help me finish this faster. Like, I just want to get past the trash, and get back to what we were working on. Though, admittedly, farming levels for Gabrielle might help with this. I may have to call this a really short episode. Come on. Finish him off, and please net me the card. I want it, that badly. I'd rather not have to deal with these guys more than I have to. Ooh, a counter. Nice. How'd I miss? It was a counter attack. Jeez. Like, my counter attacks missed. Darn it. We didn't get any cards. Okay. Need to head back to the heal spot. Because Gabby's messed up. Please help us, goddess. I know she's in the party, but she can't help us with our full healing powers that way. Only as a statue does she have access to infinite, MP or whatever. Okay. This sucks. Go with a Gale Cut. The fact your targets are randomly selected in this game still blows. Oh, we don't get cured of poison at the statues? I forgot. Gosh darn it. Well, that leaves us with just one. I guess we can have Lucia healer. Though I'll admit, I really would have preferred finding something more useful here. Mushroom spores, light feathers, not gonna help. Okay, just use some spells, will you? Not the most important spell to use. Okay, can we please find another one? I mean, this is Roland Forest. Almost every enemy is gonna have Insectors in it. There are a lot of bees out here. Though apparently we got skunked again. Well, just gonna have to wait. This is what sucks about trying to farm cards. You're counting on RNG here. Like, maybe this group of enemies will have an Insector, maybe it won't. Okay, let's just keep up the kill. Admittedly, I don't really need Gabby for this. She's barely a help, really. More of an inconvenience. But if she goes down, it's going to take forever to get back to the freaking town. Oh, only one from that thing? Of course. Of course, this guy could break our gear. Which would really suck. Because gear is expensive, man. Because when you're in this mode, it's not like enemies drop money, which would be way more useful. I could forgive this mode's sins, If you at least got money for it. An enhanced rate or something. So you got the tree ant card and an amazing frying pan. Well, I'd rather have, you know, Brock's amazing drying pan. Oh my gosh. Just all of them. Ugh. Trash enemy is trash. Problem is there's enough of them to be annoying. Well, please finish off the bugs. Thank you. Well, this ought to finish it off as soon as GN goes, right? Stupid tree ants. Getting in my way. But I have to admit, why do the bugs drop light feathers? Doesn't really make much sense, you know? Okay, come on. I know these things can have insectors with them. That's what I'm looking for, yeah. Gale cut, but I can only do it once. I do not want to waste MP gum, obviously. MP gum is a valuable commodity. You can only find it a couple places, you can't buy it anywhere. So using MP gum is a big no-no. Especially for a fight like this. Well, I guess I can hope they mostly focus on Gian. Who might counterattack. Or not. Come on, hopefully they're within quick kill range now. Jeez, still taking hits, huh? Counterattack, Gian, please. He's the only one that can, after all. Well, that brings another Insector into range. Come on. Of course we got poisoned. And that can't be removed by a statue either. I'm gonna have to use magic for it. Gosh darn it. Well, let's take care of the worst of them. How could you miss? Like, it's right there. How could you whiff so hard? Sweet. Well, tell me you got that. Come on. Why does everything in here have to have so much health that Gabby can't put within kill range of, you know, the weaker units? I just want this thing to fall over, you know? And please give me the card. Thank you. I mean, it took us like 15 minutes, but we got the card. I mean, maybe that's counting the time we spent talking to the Beast King and stuff, but let's face it. That was just a distraction from what I really wanted to do. Go get this card, because it's that important. Billy, like, you dedicated an episode basically to getting a card, and like, damn right I did. It's a really important card. Like, other cards think they're important, but the Insector card truly is, like, the most powerful card in the game. Especially if you want to win fights quickly. Like, you definitely want it. And it stacks with Gian's, you know, triple attack so well. It's insane not to have it. Gosh darn it. Nope. Damn it! Not what I wanted, but okay. I forgot to use Curing Squall, damn it. Well, we'll just have to take the percentage damage, it's fine. I'll handle it. It's only 18. I'm not sure what its exact percentage is. It's like what? A bit below around a 20th or so, a bit higher than that. Maybe it's weird. I'm way off, aren't I? Because we're at like 364 points. It's like 18. You know what? I should probably stop trying to figure out the math right now on the top of my head. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we, get out of here. And back towards the bridge. Man, this is going to be one long roundabout trip. Can we please get rid of the status effect? Thank you. Now let's see. Hit up this statue. And get back to running. Like, some of these areas on this map, are smaller than the King's Palace. Man, it's crazy. Like, it takes like 4 hit points to cross from one side of his house to the other. It's like almost as big as this room was here. It's weird. Okay, I guess this one's bigger by quite a bit. It's like double that, but still. Like, why is the King's Palace so gosh darn long? I still hate the fact you lose health by running. Like, everyone wants to move as fast as they can in these kinds of games. It just feels like a way to rack up cheap damage on the player, Like, it's just not fair. Admittedly, we could, maybe abuse the cathedral now. But I think the Valtrype pulled out, so there's no longer monsters here. And they already fixed everyone up, yep. Yep, everything's back to normal, and there's no longer any monsters in here. I don't believe. No. Yep. There's no timer, so the monsters are all gone. I can't farm them for cards now. Okay. Let me have a feel for this. What kind of monsters we got out here? Kinda really annoying. I'm probably gonna have to farm levels for Gabby just to make her useful. So I'm guessing these guys are gonna basically almost one-shot her. Oh no, just 14 points. Okay. And magic? Oh, that's our magic. Okay. Well, depending on how much damage we do, I might still want, spend some time farming here. Ooh, a scythe. The animation for that takes forever. And there goes the magic caster. Afraid she was no Einzel Gone, she just couldn't handle it. And that's just a little dinky slab with an umbrella, of course. Still no guarding, huh? Like, those counterattacks just don't happen often enough, Come on, give me something to talk about. Why does it take so long for her to kill things? I kind of want her to go next there. Well, it's definitely not going to finish off that one. Jeez. That was a massive investment with a little payoff. Though this shouldn't be so far into the bridge, we can't go back yet. Okay, what do we see reward-wise? Well, we're gonna stop here and try and farm some levels for Gabby. It's gonna take a while to get anywhere with them, but I can handle that. Until next time, then. See ya.